Whilst in Edinburgh, we interviewed some Scottish citizens on their stand on Brexit and Scotland's independence.
Okay, Greg. So, what do you think about Brexit?
For me personally, or for the country, or
Firstly, just for you.
for me personally, I think it's. I don't think it's a great idea. I think it was wrong. I voted against it. I think we'll find the vast majority of people in Scotland also voted against it. I think it was something like 32 council authorities, all council authorities in Scotland voted to remain a part of the European Union. For me also, my wife is Danish, so I fear for maybe her staying along as well, like what problems it might have to do with travel between European Union here. There's other things that don't affect me but do worry me about access to the single market and so on.
Since you are obviously working here in the on the street, so to say,
Okay.
Do you think that the number of tourists decreased after the Brexit referendum?
No, I didn't feel that at all. No. If anything, I actually know for a fact that it hasn't, because the amount of visitors to the castle is, I think, this year is an all-time high. I think it's something like 1.6 million people have visited the castle in this past year. So it's it's been fantastic. I wouldn't say the Brexit vote has had any effect whatsoever on tourism in Scotland.
Okay. And with the Brexit referendum, obviously it came up again that Scotland should be an independent country, since the majority of the Scottish people felt like not leaving the European Union.
That's right. Yeah.
I think 62% voted for
62.
remaining, and your First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, brought up that a second referendum should be held, or is highly likely to be held. What do you think about Scottish independence then?
Well, that's another thing I also voted for, was Scottish independence. I believe that the political and economic union between Scotland and Westminster hasn't worked for a long time. I fundamentally believe that Scotland should be an independent country. With regards to the European Union, of course I want Scotland to stay, and if another Scottish independence referendum is the way to go, then yeah, I think we should have that.
Good. Thank you for your time.
Okay, all right.
It's very nice
Cheers.
to meet you.
You're
Thank
welcome. I hope you enjoy the rest of your trip and have a good time.
Have a nice
all
day.
right.
Kieran, so we're here in Edinburgh today, and you work at an exchange office, right?
Yeah.
So, since the Brexit referendum, what has changed so far?
Well, for us as the business, there's a lot more tourism, because it's a lot more affordable for people to come over. Because the pounds got a lot weaker, tourism's improved. So I mean, you do get a lot more visitors. People are still going on holiday though, so the people are still buying a lot of euros. So I guess it's just going to be a lot busier for us.
Do you think that'll change if you actually leave the European Union, since it's will be harder to get here?
To be honest, I don't think it'll be a lot harder to get here. I don't think there's a lot they can do about the amount of people that come in. So I do think if the pound does decrease, it's a lot easier for people. It'll be a lot easier for people to afford to come here. So I don't think there should be too much of a change.
And with the Brexit referendum, your First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, also said that a second referendum for Scottish independence should be likely. Are you a supporter of Scottish independence, or do you think that you should stay with the United Kingdom?
I'm a supporter of Scottish independence. I voted for it in 2014. I would vote for it again, because I believe that the European Union is more important than the United Kingdom.
Okay, hello Francis.
Hello there.
So, what is your opinion on Brexit?
I would rather we stayed in Europe. So for me, I don't like it, but probably going to have to accept it.
And do you think it's highly likely that you are going to leave?
Yeah, I think so. But I think maybe Scotland will try and do their own thing.
Exactly. Are you a supporter of Scottish independence?
Yes, yeah, I was. But I think we'll have to think again if it goes to the second time, because then it means leaving the UK and Europe, or maybe Scotland will change for them. So.
Do you think it will have an impact on your business here?
A little bit. Already at the start of Brexit, there was a little bit drop from sales, just from public feeling.
We just talked to someone else who said that tourism is actually flourishing at the moment, since the pound is really cheap, so to say, and many people come here to spend more money.
Well, I hope so. Maybe not so much over the summer, but September has been busier than normal, so hopefully people will come to Scotland still.
That would be nice.
Okay.
Good. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
After having interviewed Scotsmen and women, we headed to the Scottish Parliament. Unfortunately, it was not a business day, therefore interviews were not possible. We reached out to members of the Scottish Parliament by email and received a kind reply by Daniel Johnson from the Scottish Labour Party. Me and the majority of my Scottish Labour colleagues campaigned to remain in the European Union. I am dismayed by the result and the consequences it brings for Scotland and the whole of the United Kingdom. For me, Europe is more than just a set of institutions. It represents the prospect of nations working across borders rather than being defined by them. The implications of the vote to leave the EU are tangible. I believe that just through the volatility caused by the vote itself, Scottish people will be faced with higher prices, fewer jobs, and a significantly weaker economy. I think it is right, therefore, that the First Minister, the Scottish Government and the Parliament work together to explore all options regarding Scotland's membership of the European Union. However, a vote for that motion was not a vote for a referendum on independence. I believe that at a time of great uncertainty, a second referendum on independence would only serve to amplify that uncertainty, not dampen it. And for this reason I am absolutely opposed to a second independence referendum. The Scottish Government's priority should be using the powers they already have to tackle the issues facing Scotland's public services. We were told that activists occupied land with caravans outside the Parliament, so we went there to get their opinion on this matter.
We're not against anything, we just want something to happen. It's Scotland to be declared an independent nation again, and for us to be ruled from Scotland.
I think since 1999 you have your own parliament.
The Quisling building is powerless. We are still ruled from Westminster.
And you're here for, I think, 1.5 years already, right?
10 months.
10 months, and
November last year.
And we were told in the Parliament, in the House of Parliament, that they were trying to move you off this land, although...
Yeah, they're trying to move us off their land. It's not their land, never was. Can't be their land. Like, way back when, back in our history, Queen Mary of Scotland gifted this piece of land to the people of Edinburgh. At some stage, the Earl of Haddington was quarrying up in Arthur's Seat, so he got this land taken off him. How we don't know. Youngers, a brewery, and the Scottish Gas Board ended up with the land again. They've gifted it again to the people of Edinburgh. So how the Scottish Parliamentary Corporate Body can say they own this piece of land which was gifted to the people of Edinburgh is beyond me. We think what they're doing actually is called a land grab. One of the Parliamentary Corporate Body, an MSP by the name of Andy Whiteman of the Green Party, wrote a book called The Poor Have No Lawyers, Who Owns Scotland? And in that, he is fighting and telling people all about land grabs and why they're wrong. And yet, he's sitting over there as a part of a corporate body who are taking part in what is actually a land grab. This piece of land belongs to the people of Edinburgh. The Parliamentary Corporate Body are saying they own it. They don't own it. If they're saying they own it and they're trying to own it, then that's a land grab. Plain and simple, it's theft of land from the people of Edinburgh. How they can be saying they're going to be evicting us off this land, I have no idea.
You said earlier that Brexit changed something in the process of becoming an independent nation.
Yeah, well, we'd had that referendum in 2014 and they said we voted no. Nicola Sturgeon should have challenged that all the way, but she didn't. 2015, we voted to remain in Europe. England voted to come out because England rules Scotland. They're dragging us out of Europe. We don't want to come out of Europe. I'm hoping that Europe are saying we don't want you out of Europe either, and give Nicola Sturgeon the power to turn around and say, well, we're not coming out of Europe because we're staying in Europe as an independent nation in the not in the United Kingdom. We don't want to be a United Kingdom anymore. There is no United Kingdom, or kingdoms as it should be called.
And do you think that if Scotland were represented more in the English Parliament, that would change something?
No. England brought out a bill last year of English votes for English laws, which stopped it being a union. Anything decided in England will be decided by English MPs. Anything decided in Scotland, Ireland or Wales will be decided by English MPs, because there's more English MPs than there is of any other government. England has 600 and odd MPs. The other governments only have about 50. They're overruled every single time. No matter what they want to vote to do a good thing for their country, the English MPs say no. It's like a standing order. If you want to do good for your country, we will say no, because they have the power. It's fascism, if you ask me. It's plain and simple. We have more power than you, so you will do what you're told.
And, would there be any question that you would like yourself to be asked?
Do we think we'll get independence? Yes. It's inevitable. Will Scotland flourish once we get independence? Yes. It's inevitable. What will happen to Westminster in England? They'll probably implode. You will have mass civil disobedience in England. It'll end up martial law, and then the Tories will just take over completely.
That maybe explain the water cannons.
The water cannons, FEMA camps, all this sort of stuff.
Okay, thank you for the interview, Dean.
No, it's thank you, you're welcome.
That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
Scotland, being a pluralistic country, offers many views on Brexit and Scottish independence. Whilst the reasoning differs, a consensus amongst those who are willing to speak to us on camera is found in wanting to remain a part of the European Union and becoming independent from the United Kingdom.